Do you struggle with bubbles in your epoxy resin pours, whether it be tables, molds, anything like that? If the answer is yes, watch this video. So serious, watch this video. So the number one question that I get is, why am I getting bubbles in my resin? How do you get your tables so clear? Why do mine have so many bubbles? It's really simple. You don't need a pressure pot. You don't need any of those things. The number one answer that I can give you is that you're using the wrong resin, whether it be the wrong brand or the wrong type. If you're unsure at which types there are actually 6 different basic types of resin. I have a YouTube video I will link below called "What is the right resin for the job?" And in that video, I go over the 6 different types of resins and which brand out of that I prefer. So this video right here is all about casting resins. A lot of times people are using the wrong types of resin, and then if they even have the right type, like a casting resin, they're using the wrong brand. I have used over 20, potentially 30 different kinds of resins. A lot of times companies will contact me and want me to do a product review for them. And in doing so, they want me to become an affiliate or a brand ambassador or something like that. And I tell them I already am an affiliate. The company that I rep, I've repped for about 6 months after I started, which was 5 years ago. And I promise I'm not gonna take any steps to prep any of the stuff that I put in my resin, because most of the projects that I do, I'm encasing things in resin, whether it be fossils or fabrics, or I pretty much like to put a lot of different things in my resin pours. Ashes, flowers, like I said, baby shoes, just anything. I get weird with wood, as some people call it. And I don't want to have to prep those objects to get a clear pour. Does that make sense? I get consistent orders that I want to just keep going and not have to worry about that. So the key to that is use the correct resin. And what is the resin that I'm talking about here? I use Promise Epoxy. So if you watch any of my old videos, you see me repping Incredible Solutions. All right. So for years, you saw me repping this brand, right? I still rep that brand, but they have rebranded now into Promise Epoxy. This is an empty jug, but I've got 15 gallons over there that I'm getting ready to unbox tomorrow, and that's just the resin that I use. They have the same great formula. It's the same product. It's just a new brand, a new look, a new name. It's not a new brand. It's just a new brand name, a new look. That's all. So they have rebranded into Promise Epoxy. My promo code for Promise Epoxy is Fluid Wood. So I will put all the links down in the description along with the promo code, so that way you can copy and paste. It's super easy. It's Fluid Wood. So Fluid Wood. So what is a casting resin? Casting resin is made to be poured thicker. It can be used for molds, it can be used for tables, charcuterie boards, cutting boards, things like that. It is from about 1/4 inch upwards to, I poured a 3.5 inch thick table, I've poured 6 inch thick molds. It just depends on what you're doing. A lot of casting resins, instead of a 1-to-1 mix. So you basically know if you're using the wrong resin if you're doing a 1-to-1 mix. Casting resins are 2 parts of A, 1 part B. That's the way it goes. The viscosity, so some noticeable differences between the two would be the viscosity of it, and viscosity means thickness. So when you use a tabletop resin or an art resin or any of those kinds, countertop resin, it's going to be thick, like molasses. And then when you use the casting resin, it's super thin, more like a syrup, like not a syrup. Yeah, probably like a syrup. The hardener's super thin, like a water, and then the resin's like a little bit thicker. But when you mix the two, it has a thin enough viscosity that it lets the bubbles out. Now, I promise you, all casting resins are not created equal, and I mean they are not created equal. I have, like I said, tried out over 20 different resins, and you always get micro bubbles, or you get a flash cure. And that's that exothermic reaction. So if you've ever poured a project and it started smoking and cracking or shattered, I mean, I've seen some bad things happen. I've had them happen to me. So that's why I always say, skip the learning curve, let me learn the mistakes and then teach you. So way in the beginning, as my first month, I learned what an exothermic reaction was. It was actually my first pour. I learned what an exothermic reaction was and what not to do, though I kept doing it until I realized, like, what am I doing wrong? So I quickly found that out. Casting resins are made to be poured thick, and casting resins are made to be poured deeper. They take longer to cure. So now don't take how long it takes to cure as a sign if it's a good resin, because I know a couple of resins that take 5 to 7 days that are horrible with bubbles, like horrible with bubbles. I'm not gonna name names, but I will be doing the product reviews as I was asked, and I am honest on my product reviews, so you guys can keep an eye out for that. Just know, Promise Epoxy, you have an open time of about 16 to 18 hours. 24, it's still movable. But yeah, so it's got a long open time, and it always allows me time for whatever I put in there to let all the air out, and I can demold at the 72-hour mark, sometimes a little bit before that. Depending on what it is and how excited I am to get it out. So I hope this video helps. If you have any questions on casting resin, drop a comment down below. If this video was not informative enough, I may sound biased, and I am. Like I said, I've tried a lot of resins, and they're not all equal. Like, they're not all created equally. They say you get what you pay for, but I've paid a lot more for some really bad resins, and Promise Epoxy is actually on a pretty good price point. So to get consistent results, clear pours at a good price point, that's really hard to come by. I got 15 gallons. I got 5 3-gallon kits for $1,400, $1,401. So yeah. All right. I think that's it. So like, follow, share this with a friend. I know there's a couple people waiting on this video because they got some people that are getting into resin and they are having some really bad results, such as the flash curing and stuff like that. So share this with a friend. It could save them a lot of money and a lot of headache. If you have tried resin and you've been getting a lot of bubbles, don't get discouraged. Just try to use the right product, okay? I'll show some of the stuff that I've done with Incredible Solutions, and you can be the judge on whether it's a good product or not, which it is. Alright, you guys, so I am out. I'm gonna say one last thing at the end of the video, and that is this. So when you get on Promise Epoxy or iCandy or whoever I'm an affiliate with, when you get on there, they're always going to offer you a 10% off coupon for signing up for emails or doing whatever. I do ask, as me being the affiliate and taking the time to make the videos, the way to give back for that is that I earn a commission when you use my promo code. So me taking the time to make the video, yeah, you can use their email code or their text code, but you get the same amount off if you use my promo code or my links or anything like that. Now, don't get me wrong, whenever they have a holiday sale, or like, let's see, Earth Day, I don't know if they're having a sale for that. Temu is though. They do Christmas sales, New Year's, they do Easter sales, they do a lot of sales. And when they do, I make a TikTok, I make a YouTube, and I drop it in the in my beginner resin group. So I'm gonna put all the links down below, and it would be greatly, greatly appreciated if you could use my links and or my promo code. That just helps me stay an affiliate, and it helps me support my 5 babies, and it gives me an incentive to continue doing the things that I love and helping you guys make better epoxy resin projects and continue making content. So I appreciate you guys greatly. If you do see any Incredible Solutions videos, just know that it's the same product that I was using before. And you're still gonna see me using it because I bought so much that I still have some. Like I do. I brought like, I think 40 gallons before they rebranded. But I've got 15 gallons of Promise Epoxy over there that we're getting opening up. So, alright you guys, I'm out. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, follow. I'm up.